Bitcoin broke above $121,000 over this weekend. Ethereum held incredibly strong, as you can see right here. Look at this, over $4,300. Pulled back a little bit into the $4,100, $4,200 range. We also see Chainlink is absolutely making some moves out of those lows that we saw only months ago, and now sitting here breaking out of a multi-year trend line. And of course, bittensor is still looking primed for that next leg up. And that's not to even forget what we see with Aerodrome, a 77% move off this low, this area that we called for a fake out move up, and now we're above this area of previous resistance, flipping it to support. We've got so much in store in this market. Is alt season kicked off? I think it might be, so let's dive into it. Everybody hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and dig into that subscription and notification bell because we're about to dive into it.
Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Welcome back. Monday. It is August 11th, 2025, and we are seeing some incredible price action structure setting up for just more of a springboard to the upside. We have some incredible charts that we're seeing that developed over the weekend. And in fact, a great area, target to the downside. Even though we're bulls, we're looking for that move to the downside to catch that next trade for that next incredible long, because we have Bitcoin up over $121,000, a little bit of a pullback right now, and that's okay. In fact, I'm looking for a little bit lower to go before we rebound. Ethereum also, same thing. Aerodrome over the weekend pushed up above $1.25, and now we're seeing a little bit of a pullback. We're going to talk about those targets. Of course, we're also seeing nice moves across the rest of the market and a little bit of caution that we need to talk about, but we're going to be diving into it. We've got some incredible things setting up right now that are suggesting some mega moves. So let's talk about exactly what those are, because right now, today is August 11th. On tomorrow, we see David Bailey from Nakamoto is going to be smash buying right here. Look at this, smash buying $1 billion worth of Bitcoin in a single bid. I wonder if this means he's not going to do it on OTC, meaning over the counter, meaning not in the open market. If he does this in the open market, this would be fantastic. Even if he does OTC, it doesn't matter. Another $1 billion bid on Bitcoin coming in tomorrow. And so let's look into that, because we got to talk about what's going to happen. But shout out to everybody that's here as you're rolling in. Big love to each and every one of you. We got about 400 people in here. We'll have quite a few more here in just a matter of seconds. But big love to each and every one of you. I see you, Andy D. I see you, One House Productions. I see you, Granny's Garden. I see you, Alexandra G. I see every single one of you. If you are tuned in right now, hit the like button. Go right below this video if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Rumble, if you're watching on X, wherever you're tuned in from. Hit the like button. It's not for my ego. It lets the algorithms know on this free stream that you're watching that you are paying attention, you're engaging, and it pushes us out to more people. It's the easiest way you can give back, just by participating, tuning in here. So big love to all of you for being here. Yeah, looks like we got about 500, a lot more people are gonna be rolling in, but we got some major things going on right now. And I just want to highlight a couple key things that we need to be paying attention to. First up, right now, what do we got? Look at this. We are only sitting at about that 60 mark. 60, it was 59 a few hours ago. We're at 62 right now. Considering the fact that we're nowhere near this overblown, super extreme greed territory, when the price action is doing phenomenally. We saw the market cap over $4 trillion a matter of hours ago. We're getting a little bit of a pullback, but this is insane. This is, considering where this was when I started in crypto, it was like in the hundreds of millions of dollars for the total crypto market cap. And now we're sitting at 4 trillion, and we're talking like there's no top in sight. This is incredible for anybody that feels like the market's not moving, what are you paying attention to? You must be buying the highs and selling the lows instead of buying the lows and selling the highs. That's the number one issue people have in this market is they buy when it's exciting and they sell when it's scary. Flip that to the inverse and you will dominate this market. Buy when it's scary and sell when everybody else is exciting. That is the simplest way you can dominate in this market. The best thing you can do, though, is look longer term. And especially if you're in alts, figure out a way, even if you think Bitcoin's boring, take profits of those alts when you get them and rotate those profits into Bitcoin, even if it's not all of them, 30%. You know, the most degen simple strategy I can recommend is take every time you're in profit in altcoins, rotate about 30% of those profits into Bitcoin long-term storage, about 30% into stablecoin dry powder for your trading bag, or to be ready for a dip when it comes in whatever asset you're trying to buy, and put 20 to 30, 35% into your pocket. So you're also affecting yourself outside of this digital internet world that we live so deeply in. So let's make sure we're paying attention here because, I mean, look at this, $4 trillion. This is insane. Now let's go ahead and look at the biggest winners. Pump Fund getting a bit of a move to the upside, 21%. Got Lido's up about 11%. Kronos, this is crypto.com, up 5%. Let's see. We have a couple some pullbacks across the board as well. We got Aerodrome. Oh my God, Aerodrome's down 7%. Well, it's pumped 43% in the last 7 days. Guys, this asset right here, especially as the base ecosystem is integrated into the Coinbase app for all their users, so they don't have to go into a DEX to trade all those base tokens. This is going to bring a tremendous amount of volume to Aerodrome, and this is currently sitting around just under a $1 billion market cap. Considering that this is essentially the Uniswap of base, what did Uniswap do at its highest market cap? Uniswap went up to over $20 billion. Now, I would argue that base may, maybe it doesn't, for instance, Aerodrome doesn't top 20 billion. What if it only does 10? That's still a 10x from where we're at right now. So Aerodrome is still one of my absolutely top plays for this cycle, even with the price levels that it's at. So we're going to look at some levels that we need to look at here in just a few minutes. But how's everybody doing as you're rolling in? I just want to say thank you for being here. Welcome to BitLab Academy. My name's Kellam. If this is your first time, I can guarantee it's not going to be your last. Also, shout out to our channel partners, Bitcoin IRA. I should be having Chris come on later this week, talk about some things that got going on over there at Bitcoin IRA, but also his stance on the market. He's been in this market a long time, and he always has great alpha and great input about what's going on, especially considering that he runs Bitcoin IRA, one of the co-founders, and they have over $14 billion in assets under management. And so he gets a lot of data to see what kind of things are going on with all those traders in their platform, so we can get some deep alpha from that as well. If you want to check out, making sure that you're looking long-term, if you want to just see what you can do to prevent some of all of the taxes you have to pay when you're day trading, why not rotate that maximum amount into Bitcoin IRA and basically divert where you're having to pay taxes on there, save that huge amount of loss that you're taking on those 20 to 30% taxes on all those gains. Call 1-877-936-7175. 1-877-936-7175. Let them know Kelly Kellam from BitLab Academy sent you, and they'll take care of you. They got over 80 different crypto that you can day trade. It's not just now IRA, you have to forget about it. You can go in there and actively day trade your altcoins and rotate them into Bitcoin at your own speed, but also, minimize that tax burden that you have to pay if you're doing it just on an open exchange. So just shout out to them. And also the best crypto cold storage solution out there. Head over to getarculus.com and use code BitLab20 or DC20. That is 20. You get 20% off. Again, that is getarculus.com, spelled like it is on the top of my screen right here. Oh, where'd it go? Right there. That's how it's spelled, getarculus.com. Now let's talk about some of the things that are going on in this market, because there are some monster things happening. I want you to notice total crypto market cap is now in price discovery. Now this is the aggregation of every altcoin, every Bitcoin. There's only one Bitcoin. Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the altcoins. This is all of their market cap. This is where we're talking about. We just hit about $4 trillion. So this was snapped before that, as you can see right here. That's where this line is, 3.93. We are beyond this. We are into price discovery for the broader crypto market. Yes, Bitcoin's broken all-time high. We're in a little bit of a pullback right now, but the total crypto market cap had not yet, since I think this was the end of 2024, we had this little run up there, sell off, and now back above it. This is very bullish for the crypto market, not just Bitcoin. There's a bit of a capital focus that is now not completely focused on Bitcoin. The strength of the crypto bull market is here. We're seeing Bitcoin sort of chop around a little bit at this range, while ETH is outperforming Bitcoin, giving the signal while Bitcoin is struggling. The alts are not saying, oh, we better sell before we have these massive dips. This is where we want to be. Gunto, how you doing? I see you. Tell them about that dog, says Gunto. Hey, dog is setting up for some monster moves. I have some charts on that later as well. And just to shout out, Gunto, you tweeted, or you commented here from X. So anybody else that's watching on X, get active in the live chat. I can see it. I'm not saying comment down below the post. You can actually live chat on those video streams on X. So shout out. We got 1,000 and it's ticking up now. 1,100 people watching between X, Rumble, and YouTube. So shout out to everybody that is here. But this is very bullish for the broader crypto market. That alt season everybody's been waiting on. This is, I think we're kicking into it now with the strength that we've seen come in to ETH. So let's get bullish about that. Hit the like button below this stream, wherever you're watching. Put a heart if you're watching on X. Hit the like, hit the following, subscribe, get involved with what we're doing, because we have been keeping you all on the right side of the trend. Sir Dapper G, what's up? Big love. Like the stream, peeps. That's right. Shout out to you. Now, continue on. What else we got? The Federal Reserve. This is so freaking bullish. The Federal Reserve laid out how to revalue gold. Kelly, I thought we were talking about Bitcoin and crypto. Think about this. The Federal Reserve laid out how to revalue gold, because they have not repriced the gold in the gold reserves in the US since like the 80s at like $41, $42. What is gold now? Gold is over 3,000. I haven't even looked. Let's see what this is at. Let's see. No, it's not what I'm looking for. Let's just do gold. Gold, look at this, 3,348, and they still have the gold reserves priced at about $41, $42 an ounce from the 80s. So when you see a headline like this, you see that the Federal Reserve is talking about what the plan could be to revalue gold at the actual value it's at. That means that what's that capital neutral strategies? That's what they talked about here in the US government. Basically budget neutral strategies to acquire Bitcoin for the strategic Bitcoin reserve. Well, this is what this is about. They could revalue the gold at the current price per ounce. And that would basically, now they could utilize some of that, that difference in the valuation to actually pivot that into Bitcoin. This is so bullish. The Federal Reserve is laying this out. This is so, you all do not understand how bullish this is. Hit the like button for that. And then we also see Grok, XAI, one of the best AIs out there, says that because of the 401k buying that just got turned on, just got allowed, just got stroked in with the executive order, now this could cause Bitcoin to, the price to rise to about $175,000 by year's end. The most advanced AI in the world is calling for $175,000 Bitcoin. And note, that is not saying the top will be $175,000. The most advanced AI in the world is saying by the end of this year, we could hit $175,000. Now, it's my expectation that we will get a pullback this year, and so many people are going to be caught on the sidelines thinking that it is the top of the market, whereas we'll get the sell-off just like we do coming into the very end of the year. Also, the tax harvesting and everything that happens into the end of the year. and also the four-year cycle expectations. And then so many people are going to get left behind when this market just explodes into 2026, into the probably Q3 into Q3 of the year, to actually have the short-term cycle top. Now that guy, I see we got a super chat, says, good morning, Professor. Hit the likes, people. You are not bullish enough. Can we see some Link TA? We're going to dive into Link TA. We're going to dive into some Solana. We're going to look at Aerodrome. We're going to be looking at bittensor. We're going to look at Bitcoin. We're going to roll through as much as possible as we do this. Shout out, what's happening today, homeboy? Says Crypto Crank. How you doing? Tex-Mex, Biomex. Hola, bro. La. Now, how's everybody doing? Link plays its own game when this when they start changing it to charging to use it. Yeah, you know what? November is going to be massive for Link. Now let's continue on, because we also see this. This is very similar to what I was just talking about with having the sell-off. One, I think we're going to have one in September, but two, also later this year, about the end of November into December. If you look at the previous cycles, notice this. Every cycle, every one of these. This goes back to 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. You see a run up in July and August, a sell off in September, and then blast off before we got that cycle top. Run up July, August, pull back in September, blast off into this end of the year. What do we see? Run up in July, August, pull back September, blast off into the end of the year, sell off. What do we see again? Run up July and August. Are we going to have a sell-off in September and then a run-up into the November-ish timeframe? Well, all the signs and signals are suggesting this. The one thing I don't agree with here is this bear market. I think we will get a sell-off, could be 20%, could be 25, 30, 40%. But I do think that this is going to end up ultimately continuing to build this stair-step structure to the upside, at least into 2026. And that's because we got the Fed rate cuts that are going to be starting in September. That's also because there's going to be multiple rate cuts, could be 2, could be 3. And that's this year. That's not considering the rate cuts that are going to be happening in early 2026 as well. And that's also considering the fact that money printing is an inevitability. It is an inevitability, which means that Bitcoin is going to have more dollars that go into it. And when we consider that, this is the M2 right here. This is what it looks like. And we have been tracking this so darn close. And if this is any indication what's happening to Bitcoin, the magnet is overwhelmingly to the upside if we're looking just at this chart. Now, we cannot look at just one chart and make every one of our investment and trading decisions based on one chart. However, this chart has played out so far to an absolute T of what's happening. And if this is any indication, up is next. Now, could we get that sell-off in September? Is it going to be large? Is it going to be smaller? Is the excitement about where we're at in this market right now too forward-looking about the rate cuts? That could completely dismiss this notion of having a big sell-off in September like we've seen every cycle leading up to where we're at now. Why? Because the doorway was just opened. The awareness and the approval was just open for corporations, for banks, for institutions. The awareness of the smart retail trader to say, wait a minute, there's a flood of capital coming into the market. There's a flood of awareness and appetite for Bitcoin, and the door just got opened. And now we're just now going to go into a quantitative easing scenario, which we have not seen this cycle. That, to me, could completely dismiss this notion of a September sell-off. So if you're counting on it, don't. Plan for it, but do not count on it. That's the difference here. Jesse Michaud said, hey, Kelly, trying to sign up to BitLab to learn more than I know now, but I'm not receiving the sign-up email. Shoot me an email at kelly@bitlabacademy.com, and I'll take care of you, my friend. Hey, Kelly, should I shout out to you, sir, Manny Sharon? We got the crew in the house today. We've got 1,700 people tuned in between YouTube, Rumble, and X. So shout out to all of you. If you're watching, I just want to say I appreciate you. You're ahead of the game. Again, if this is your last time, if this is your first time, it's not going to be your last time. My name's Kelly Kellam. Make sure you're subscribed turn on your notifications. And members, I've got a whole new strategy I'm going to be deploying specifically for you, those of you that are members here on YouTube. So make sure if you're not signed up yet, sign up. It's about $1.25 a week, and you're going to be getting some supreme alpha. I have a whole action strategy that I'm going to start deploying this week. So get involved there, subscribe. Just look down below this video if you're on YouTube. If you're, make sure you're subscribed. There should be a join button there, and you can join for about $1.25 a week, and you get some supreme alpha. So shout out to all the members that are here. Also shout out to, I saw there was where was it at? One of you got a 10-month, yeah, that guy. I want to donate more memberships, but YouTube won't let me. Well, hey, I appreciate the sentiment. But let's continue looking. We're talking about the M2 money going up. We're talking about printing. We're talking about what are the scenarios that are going to potentially sustain Bitcoin and the crypto market continuing to go higher? Because Bitcoin's so high at 120. It is not. And one of the charts we can look at, which is abstracted back, is this chart right here, the US national debt. Notice something. This is a stair-step pattern that only continues to the upside. We have the debt ceiling. Oh my God, the debt ceiling. The debt ceiling? It should be a ceiling, right? 22 trillion. What happened? Well, they need to spend more money. So what happens? A huge amount of money printing happens and you get a lot more debt. Then we get a ceiling again. What happened? They change the ceiling, a lot more money printing, and then we get a ceiling again. What happens? They cannot budget it because they're terrible governors of the monetary policy. And what happens? More money printing. We just got another ceiling. What has happened after each ceiling? A massive expansion to the upside, which tells me Bitcoin only is getting more and more rocket ships strapped to its price action to push it higher. Many, not all, altcoins are going to absolutely change lives if you're already in and if you take profits when they do see large pumps and you rotate that into Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to go up regardless. Altcoins, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there in altcoins. Even Link, which I love, I'm still going to be rotating profits out of into Bitcoin. But this is telling me the crypto market is standing to gain a lot more capital coming in as this just expands higher and higher. So let's keep a lookout on that. And then we see the SEC chair, very important. SEC chair Paul Atkins says it is encouraging to see public companies adopt Bitcoin and crypto as treasury reserve assets. And you know what? The only publicly traded company that stacks memes is C2 Block or C2 Capital. They stack Dog. So Dog is a treasury asset out there in a publicly traded company. So I just thought that was interesting. But there's going to be Bitcoin, there's going to be ETH, there's going to be the basket of different assets as well. So let's keep an eye on this. And the fact that the SEC chair, very different waters than what we saw with Gary Gensler. He's applauding the fact that we're seeing publicly traded companies adopt Bitcoin and crypto as treasury reserve assets. This could not be more bullish in terms of the support factor of where we're at right now. And then of course, 2 or 3 more slides or posts here, and then we're going to get into some TA. And what do we see? Nakamoto CEO David Bailey says he will smash by 1 billion Bitcoin tomorrow, $1 billion worth of Bitcoin tomorrow. Today's August 11th, tomorrow's the 12th. He's going to be buying $1 billion worth of Bitcoin tomorrow. This is absolutely insane. This goes back to what we just saw with Paul Atkins and Nakamoto. So the ticker is $Naka, is part of a publicly traded company. So this is just furthering that story. And David Bailey, for those of you that don't know, he's the one that had the biggest impact of orange pilling Donald Trump to take Bitcoin as a part of his campaign. So this is phenomenal that he's made such strides in his own Bitcoin treasury company as well with Naka. So phenomenal things there. And then we got to talk about the alts because we're all so excited about alt season. And I do think that it is effectively started. It's going to be dominated early on with Ethereum, and then we're going to see it rotate broadly more across different coins. Now, we've already seen some runs. We talked about it. Chainlink broke out a multi-year downtrend resistance. We also saw Aerodrome absolute melt, faces up 77, 78% in the last week and a half or so. We're seeing other coins also making some strides to the upside, but we're about to see the fireworks light across the majority of the altcoin market here very soon. And this is what we're looking at. This is what we saw back in 2016 into 2017, run up here. Then the alt season 2.0, 2019 into 2022, massive run up. But look at this rising level of support, And then once you broke away, have we already started the breakaway? I think we're at the early stages of it, which means the best part is yet to come. So let's talk about that, because getting into it, you asked about Chainlink. Well, Chainlink, I'm sure you've seen this around, but Chainlink teamed up with New York Stock Exchange parent ICE to bring Forex and precious metals data on chain. Sounds boring? Forex means foreign exchange, the foreign exchange marketplace to trade between different currencies. And precious metals, think about it, gold, platinum, palladium, silver, copper, all this. On chain, RWAs tapping into the $8 trillion a day Forex market. $8 trillion a day. And it's going to be all basically run through Chainlink. This story couldn't get more bullish. And it does every day for Chainlink. So if you are still thinking Chainlink's boring, I don't know what data you're looking at. Chainlink's more exciting than any meme coin that there could be, because this integrates the traditional finance world into blockchain, and it also connects the majority of the blockchain world through their CCIP, cross-chain interoperability protocol. Chainlink is doing some major things, not to mention Swift and DTCC. They are plugged in every way that matters. So let's consider that. Now let's get into some of the things we want to talk about here. Let's start. We'll end with Bitcoin, because I want to get through a bunch of altcoins here first, but I want to take a look at the live chat here. Kenny Carniel said $50 link, Chainlink by December. We are printing, Sir Dapper says. Alexander G, how you doing? XLM top ideas? We could probably look at that. I want to scroll. I'm way up there. Let me scroll down. Price prediction for Mammo. I can look at that. I don't think I've ever charted that. As Kelly is your man for Chainlink. Chainlink? Hey, we can be Chainlink. Did you get the Solana Seeker? I did not. Yeah, the fam is here. Now let's go ahead and look at some of these, because we're seeing some monster stuff in these charts. Couple things. Let's go down to the 4-hour charts. We're going to look at the total, excluding Bitcoin and ETH. So this is a total 3. I want you to notice something. Actually, that's not the one I want to show right here. Total 3. I subtracted the stable coins. So this is total 3. Everything in crypto minus Bitcoin and ETH, but also minus USDT and USDC. What are we seeing here? We see a breakout of the downtrend resistance here, this falling channel, falling broadening wedge. Let's just call it a falling channel. But the breakout and the move down. Let's go ahead and delete this line. Delete this line here. Where's it at? There we go. We see the move, the push up, the move down. Currently hasn't broken. I do expect this, unless we get some positive news, something that jolts the market. I mean, this did bounce right on this level. That does look good. But if this level's lost, let's clarify it this way. If this level's lost, I'm expecting this to come down and touch this line, which would be a pretty big sell-off. This would see, double digit, 10% or more sell-offs in a lot of the alts you're holding. If this loses this level, if this holds this level and consolidates here, and then breaks up, then we're going to have that continuation in the very near term for those altcoins. But let's just keep an eye on this, because this is very bullish that we've broken out. But what we typically see when you break a key trend line is that, and this already tested it here, but if this does come like this and come down, this would not be out of context. It does not mean bear market. It's part of normal bull market behavior. So let's just keep an eye on that. On the others chart, we see a very similar thing. We broke out. Others is everything outside of the top 10. What do I mean by that? CoinMarketCap.com. Let's look at it. CoinMarketCap.com. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Don't look at any of those market caps. Look at the aggregation of everything else. That's what the others chart shows. Everything outside of the top 10. This has basically all these altcoins you're all holding. This has broken out. This is a double top formation. If I'm just looking at this pattern, and then I ignore my bias and my excitement about alts pumping, I would bet that this would, okay, we have, it's pumping, but I would bet that this is going to reject here, come down like this, and then lose, reject, and then come down somewhere about this. It's about $10 billion, 15 billion dollar lost on all these altcoins, the smaller altcoins, right? Everything outside of the top 10. But that wouldn't be super bearish. In fact, this could come even lower, come down to about right here, 283 billion. Which would mean some pretty big losses on those mid to smaller cap coins that we're holding. Now, this is just giving us the landscape of these altcoins. So let's actually look what the hell is going on. Okay, let's see. We got Pre-Rich. How you doing? AS Swift and Chainlink will be out 22nd of November. This will be in the peak of the bull market or after. I think it'll be coming into about when the topish of this year will be. Maybe it pushes a little deeper into December. But again, I don't think it's going to be a top. I think it's going to be a midpoint that has a little bit of a sell-off for consolidation and then a continuation into 2026. But Ethereum, look at this, really trying to break the mold here. Still sitting here, $4,300, $4,340. If this can break out of this, this will also give more confidence to the other altcoins you're holding. If this loses this, the altcoin, everything was following Bitcoin before. Now, we have confidence in this bull trend. We have expectation of going higher in this market and that it's not just going to evaporate, because there was a lot of concern that altcoins were going to be left out of this cycle entirely because there is so much capital focused in Bitcoin. But now people realize, no, the cycle is just a little more extended. And now that we got all this regulatory clarity with the Genius Act and the Clarity Act and the market structure bill and the executive orders, the U.S. government so far supporting and backing the digital asset ecosystem. Now it's like, oh yeah, okay, altcoins also. So we're seeing even corporations, major players out there, big money, starting to show some capital attention to Ethereum and other things like Chainlink and bittensor and Solana and, so on and so forth. AVAX, Injective, all these coins that have been making some major strides. Ondo, of course, as well. If this does get rejected, which currently this does look a bit weak, but I will say on the data, this is on the 4-hour chart, on the data, bottom of the chart, one, we see the stochastic here. It looks like it's kind of bottomed and is trying to rotate. The VWAP is kind of double bottomed here. Is trying to, if this can break above and start making a stride up, that'd be great. We still have positive money flow, which is the blue here. And the momentum wave is rounding out like this. If the RSI is not able to break up, then all of this is kind of probably rendered useless. This will probably rotate back to the downside. But there's so much positive news that's been coming out about Ethereum. And more ETH treasuries are popping up, massive ETH buys are popping up. And the fact that this Genius Act, which very much related to stablecoins, the majority of stablecoins are on Ethereum. And that's not to mention a lot of the tokenization that's going to be coming in of the RWA tokenization through the Ethereum protocol or on assets that are built on the ERC20 narrative. So there, I think Ethereum is going to do, look at this, breaking out right now. Let's go to the 1-hour chart, 15-minute chart. All right, what do we see? We got the green dot here on the momentum wave. A lot of buying pressure here. We could tell by all the green negative money flow, but this looks like it might be trying to swing back to the upside. The VWAP is, look at this. What did I tell you before? If the VWAP breaks up, the intention's up. Look, it broke past right here, this yellow line. Broke past the zero line. Right here, what happened? The intention was up. Boom, we got up. If you understand the data you're looking at, you can use a variety of different data points to give you a front-running signal, and then you can look for confirming signals with the other other indicators that are within this. If you're looking at the BitLab trading stack, that's what we're looking at here. You can also look at just traditional stuff like the money flow and RSI. In this case, this was very neutral back and forth. This tried to pop up here, and the RSI, look, broke out of the downtrend. So in this case, we're not even looking at the VWAP. But look, this broke the downtrend on the RSI, and there was a positive money flow stent right here. This is trying to, I think we'll get rejected here if I had to guess. But this is why you're always guessing. You have to kind of hedge yourself. And part of that is just risk management. So if this can clear, I'd say above 4,400, this will probably continue to run. But to me, this is just a little bit of a liquidity grab before this kind of breaks down and makes the swing lower. I would say probably about $4,100, 4,072, about right there. That's where I'd be watching. If it continues up, great. We're already stacked, right? You've already been stacking, right? All of you have already been stacking when the prices was much lower, right? You shouldn't be so needing of a move to happen. And look at that. Look at this larger range all the way across. If we zoom out on this, larger range all the way across back here to March of last year, that high when we thought it was alt season. We thought it was alt season again. We thought it was alt season again. The difference here is, look, we've broken beyond these points where all the make-believe alt seasons were. We've actually broken beyond that. So although alt season might be starting, it doesn't just give you every bit of grape and champagne and dollars that you want the moment you want it. Everybody's expecting it now. So what's going to happen, in my opinion, and it could not, is that we will get that swing down to retest the zone before we make that swing back for continuation to the upside. So that's what we're seeing on ETH. And if you realize this, and you see alt season is predominantly run not by alts just moving higher, it's them also making larger gains against Bitcoin. And we're seeing that on ETH to Bitcoin pairing as well. We have a damn bull flag on the ETH Bitcoin chart here. Look at this, rising, falling pennant right here, falling wedge, but this is attached to this flagpole. If you measure this out from this point, from this low to the top, this gives us the target up. And this, remember, this is a Bitcoin to ETH pairing. This would give us another move if this continues, even with a little bit of a pullback before continuation. This would be another almost 18% move, meaning you're gaining 18% more faster than you would have on Bitcoin. Even if Bitcoin and ETH are moving at the same pace, if this target plays out, it means you're making larger gains on Ethereum. And therefore, a lot of the alts are running too. Now, that might sound very exciting, but I want to tell you, yes, I hold quite a few altcoins, and I'm expecting them to outperform Bitcoin. That's the only reason I would hold an altcoin, is if I'm expecting it to outperform Bitcoin. That does not mean, well, why don't you just trade everything that is these altcoins that are going to outperform Bitcoin? Why would you hold Bitcoin? Because the difference in risk assessment that you can take on Bitcoin versus any altcoin is massive. The smaller market cap it is, the more risky in nature it is, because it's easier to move around and there's not as much large monetary anchors in the price. So although you might be excited about getting some bigger gains on alts, do it, but have the anchor in your portfolio be Bitcoin. And when you make more gains in alts, rotate those profits into Bitcoin so you can stack into your future. Cash still on the side, says Dizzy Gang. Ooh, hey man, you are a patient. I mean, hey, I would, if there was a dip somewhere around in the next week or so, I can't give financial advice, but I know what I would be doing. But then we see Aerodrome, and look at Aerodrome breaking out of this massive trend line right here that goes. Let's see how far back it goes. This goes back until March of last year. Look, support. Couldn't even get up to it. There we go, rejection. Couldn't even get up to it, but we still rejected at it. But this trend line is what we just smashed through. And on that smash through, we got up to about 77, 78% pump. And I was talking to you all about this, this reversal kind of underway here. You know, we've all been stacking into this. If you've been watching this channel, if you're in the Discover Investments group, everybody, if you're not, that link is pinned in the top of the live chat there. It says join Discord and it has a link. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Rumble, it should be pinned in the top of the live chat as well. But make sure you're subscribed. I was looking at the metrics this morning. About 58% of all of you watching daily are not subscribed. I don't know what you're doing. Show some love. Hit that subscription. We got 2,200 people watching right now between YouTube, X, and Rumble. So shout out to each and every one of you. I do appreciate your viewership. If you give just a little extra love, hit that heart, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, show some love. And if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, make sure you're following me here at Kelly Kellam. It's spelled just like that, Kelly, Kelly. AM, not UM, not EM, not Kelly Kellam 1, not Kelly.Kellam. There's about 100 fake profiles out there. Make sure you're following the right one. Should have the little Mario Nawfal badge there as well, about just under 44,000. But make sure you're getting involved because we're trying to get you guys to have freedom through crypto here with the Discover group. So get involved in that Discord. But let's look at a couple more coins because we got Link broke out of a major band here that we've been talking about. For those of you that have been paying attention, you'll know that I talked about once we broke out of this 5-year trend line right here with clarity, with confirmation, which we did here. We're going to be watching for a rejection at this level, watching for a pullback to test this level, and then a continuation up to basically slice through this. And this is exactly what has happened. It happened a bit sooner than we expected, but right now, if I would be very comfortable with a move down to this $20 region, low $20. Now we do have a pretty big evaporation of the money flow here. This is on the 4-hour chart. What does it look like on the 1-hour chart? Okay, 1-hour chart, we went negative here on money flow, which isn't the end of the world, but currently we're watching this. Basically the RSI is kind of on a downward slope. This currently is now trying to break back above 50, but it's rounding. This is telling me the strength is rejecting at the bullish delineator, right at this 50%. It's kind of, it's currently peeking its head above, but it's arced over. If this price action on Link cannot get back above 2250, 2260, this is, look, a lower low. If this is a lower high, what have I told you? When you have these moves up, that's good movement, sideways movement, weak movement. That's showing the weakness of the bulls coming in, which means if the bulls are getting weaker, the bears are getting stronger. Now we have the move down. If this ultimately ends in a lower high here, then I'm considering this, breaking this, coming back, rejecting, and then testing down in the 20s, maybe high 19s, right in the zone. But I'd be excited about that because I'm so bullish on Link. Shout out Alexander G. Always appreciate you in here. Teddy, you hold any Mamo? No, I don't even know what Mamo is, but I'll look at it for you. Mikhail Memdovich, shout out to you. Thoughts on Morpho? I love Morpho. Morpho is a great one, but let's look at 2 more coins and we'll look at Mamo and we'll look at Morpho. Is ETH looking like a triple top? I don't think so. It just broke through. You talk what time frame? You got to tell me what time frame, Misfit Ty. But you see this? Look, move up, move up, move up, move up. And now we have a lower high. See this on Tau? And then we broke down. This is what I'm talking about. Pay attention to these signals. Now, the RSI got pretty low here. This has come down pretty good into a zone. If this rolls over here, I'd be looking at the levels back into the 360 range, potentially down into the high 350s. But I'd be very bullish on making a purchase there, especially considering that's kind of like 1 stair step, 2 stair step, 3 coming down into this moving average and this horizontal level of support. This is where I'd be looking, the low 360s for a good buy opportunity. If this moves up, I'm okay because I'm already stacked. I have a trading allocation and then I have my position term allocation, meaning something I'm holding until certain targets or certain time frames are hit. So if this falls, I'd be buying. If it does nothing, I'm already stacked. XRP kind of holding firm here. Nice move up, came back down, but look, it's under these 2 moving averages now. This is on the 1 hour as well. There's a lot of positive sentiment in XRP now because that case finally got closed, but there's also the board people that got closed. Why didn't it move? And then they're tired of it, so they sell out. So that could happen as well. But that's just a sentiment analysis. When we're looking at this though, we had the nice move up. Now we're back below these moving averages. Already got rejected once, already got rejected. We're in the process of potentially getting rejected twice. If this does lose, I'd be looking for an opportunity down here in the basically 312 to 315 zone. I'll put a little box there because guys, how many of these boxes have I drawn that people are too bullish and they're like, it's not going to hit. And then a month later, boom, or a week later, we see the price action in the exact box I've drawn. We have been nailing it on this channel. So shout out to each and every one of you that's been learning. If this is able to break out of this, I'd be watching. We got to watch at this level next on the upside because we have this sort of shelf here, support. We also have this rejection here. We also have this support here. So this is where I'd be watching. It'd also be a lower high from that. If this is able to push up, reject, bounce, and then take that out, then we go to new highs. Solana Solana. Look, bullish movement. It's getting weaker. See how it's kind of rolling? The bullish momentum isn't getting stronger. Sorry. The bullish, because you see this is kind of arcing over like that. The bulls are getting weaker. Now we came down, we got a little bit lower low. If this comes up, rejects here, that then lower low followed by lower high spells something like this, coming back down into the lower 170s, potentially down here. Yeah, somewhere in this box is where I'd be looking for Solana. It's not the end. This would be a reset before the next leg up if that were to happen. If this is able to push, if this is a fake out and this pushes up here and we're able to take out this high at 186, then we start making those swings up to 220 like we talked about, up in the zone. But currently this is looking more like it wants to take a swing down. Also, we see the money flow is decreasing here in terms of the peaks. What the hell is Mamo? Let's look at Mamo. I have no idea. Massimo Group. Is that like that's probably this. There you go. That's probably the stocks. Yeah. So Mamo, let's look. Let's see. Mamo personal. Let's see. AI-driven financial management platform known as MamoBot. Sounds pretty cool. AI. Again, guys, I'm not saying I support or deny this. I don't know what it is. So this is what you do. If you don't know what something is, you say, hey, Google, or hey, Grok, or hey, ChatGPT, you ask. You don't need to know everything. And if you act like you do, then you're actually more of a dumbass than somebody that doesn't know. You need to be willing to say when you don't know something, you need to have the tools in your brain to say, let me search or let me ask for help. Okay, say AI powered, simplified wealth building, automated yield optimization. Mamo automatically allocates funds to high yield opportunities on platforms like Moonwell, Morpho. Okay, so Mamo is one of those. That's right. DeFi crypto airdrops told me about this one. I don't know why this didn't pop me in this. Andrew. So yeah, it's a great play for AI automated DeFi. Got it. Sorry. So my brain is a little slow. Still catching up on sleep from Hawaii. And so sell off. Okay, fine. If this is already listed on Coinbase and it's working with Morpho and Moonwell and guys in my circle like veteran crypto and Drew are talking about it, I think that this is probably getting to a point where it's probably getting a pretty good buy here, right here. This is rounding out. Money flows down, but I think everybody's waiting on the alts. There's capital focus on the top alts right now: Ethereum, Aerodrome, Chainlink, some of these ones that are on top of the narrative. But if this is able to, I'd want to see it hold here. This is on the 1 hour chart too. Man, I guess is very, very new. So let's see. This is why this chart right here, and I'm not calling Mamo out, but this chart is a great example. All of us have done it. I've done it at least 6 times and I've learned not to do it anymore. You get so excited about, you think you have some inside knowledge or you found something early, it's getting listed tomorrow. I want to get in right when it lists. This happens 99% of the time. You get a hype, boom, and then it sells off until there's some footing being found within the community activity with better data on use case with, you get a little bit more of an opportunity for it to find its actual base. It kind of does like this. And then you start to get that run. So this is great. I like to wait. And so this is, look at this. This is, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. So as it stands right now, let's go to the 1 hour. Yeah, I think this might be setting up. I want to see this break out. I don't care if I miss a percentages on this, if this pushes up, because look, that's about 12%. Great. I'd want it to clear these moving averages. Clear these moving averages, find some support, and do some work before I took a shot on it, just to make sure that there's not any other issues. Remember, because it is newer, right? But then we got to talk about dog on Bitcoin. Why do we got to talk about dog on Bitcoin? Because Matthew Hyland, let me pull this up. Where's it at? Okay. We got to talk about dog on Bitcoin, dog meme coin, culture coin, the best meme coin out there, in my opinion, the only meme I hold. And if you look at this in relationship to what Doge did, notice this. This has been almost mark for mark with the massive run up, the sell off. Look at this, the sell off. Okay, cool. Another run up. Okay, we got a couple little curve to the upside, and then the flat period. This coincided with dog's down period, but we had a lot of the market was just under pressure here. But then we had the move up. Okay, move up, move down, base, move down, kind of forming a bit of a base. The next move for Doge was the mega explosion to the upside. And this somehow is correlating right now with Dog and with other altcoins out there, the crypto market in general, where we're getting every damn roadblock that was in the way of crypto has now been cleared out. And the world's focus is coming into view of Bitcoin and Ethereum and understanding this asset class and the fact that so many things are getting tokenized and the fact that this has mainstream news media coverage on a daily basis, the crypto industry on a daily basis. This makes this feel a lot more likely to me. So I've been stacking into Dog. I've been talking about Dog. And as we look at this, let's zoom out on this. This has come into the levels that we've talked about over and over again. So we have been nailing this moving averages. Look at this. It's already pumped from the low, 475% right here. And we've had a bit of a sell-off into a bullish pattern. It broke out of it, but then fell back down again to a beautiful level here. The next target up, look, came right back into it. Just like we've always seen, price action struggles in the zones that I've highlighted. So it's struggling, cool. But the money flow, look, boom, just popped into the positive. RSI just popped back above into the bulls being in control. If Dog is able to clear this, the next level up I'm really watching for as a trouble point is 0052. The next level is up here is about 6.3. And then, of course, up here into that right about 1 cent. And then we're going to be looking for these targets over and beyond, which are up here, 3.5 cents and beyond. But guys, I'm stacked heavy in this. I am irresponsibly layered into Dog because I believe in that narrative. And so what I did was in my portfolio, I put basically the highest conviction plays I had in different sectors. So bittensor Tau for AI. So Dog for meme coins. Meme coins is a sector. I think Dog is going to do the best. It's the best performing meme on Bitcoin, and it's free and fair. It was launched out, deployed across thousands of wallets in a free and fair way. There's no token inflation. There's no paid KOLs. There's no paid marketing. It is just a community coin that is now out there that can't have teams dumping tokens because there's these secret allocations to insiders. No. And it's on Bitcoin. So, but then I also have Aerodrome, which is, I think, going to be the best DEX out there, especially being on Base. And now that it's getting integrated into the Coinbase app for all their users. And then, of course, Chainlink is, my highest conviction play in all of crypto. So I am stacked heavy. Of course, I have my long-term Bitcoin. I make myself forget that I have it, so I don't try to utilize it to trade. And then, some ETH, but I forget about that as well. The stuff I'm actively looking at in my portfolio on a daily basis are those alts that I just mentioned: bittensor, Chainlink, Aerodrome, Dog. There's something else. I can't remember at the moment. But I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day. Hope you find gratitude for yourself today. Forgive yourself for something you did yesterday or this morning or last week or last month or last year. Forgive yourself. Forgive anybody in your life that is, if you're holding negative energy around somebody, then they're still controlling you. They're still affecting you. Don't give that power away. Find gratitude for a lesson, even if it was hard. Forgive and move forward in your life. And that includes trading. That includes relationships. That includes your parents. Let's move forward positively. I love you guys. Hope you all have a wonderful Monday. That's all I got for this one. I will see you in the next one. Adios, everybody. Okay, Morpho. see those of you that stuck around. Let's look at Morpho. Morpho. Man, look at this. Look at this reacting to the fibs. The breakdown, boom, came up. Boom, right here. Rejected 382, found support on the 618, blasted up here to the 786, came back down. Boom, 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 boom. Look at this, right? The 382 came up. Now we're sitting right above this key level. Support, 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 support. Rejection. Look, we're finding support right here on this green band. Finding support. And if this can, then I'm looking at the next move up. We can actually do a fib off this. Boom. Look at this. That move down came right into the golden pocket. If this can come up, break this, we're looking at 251 up to 266 for the golden fib extension, 1.618. And I mean, guys, this is just very bullish. I'd be watching this trend line right here though. I could just see it with my eyeballs, my eye holes. So rejection, kind of rejection, rejection. So this tells me if we do break out of this, we'll probably get a pretty big move up here into the 270s, 260s, 270s, and forward march. We got positive money flow on the 12-hour. RSI is still holding above the 50 line. It's coming down to test it though. If we lose that, we may get a deeper pullback down here to about the 382. But I'm super bullish. That's all we got. Love you guys. Mikhail, I hope you're still here. Let me know if you're still here. I saw your message right after I was doing the redirect, but there is a 1 p.m. Discover Crypto show with Mr. Drew. So tune in there, but that's all we got. Adios.